Hey there, hey, and thank you for tuning into this Tuesday pod of Born to Be a Star. Today is another day and another opportunity for you to recognize your star power. I'm currently watching Fox News, and it is 9:51, about 9 minutes before Greg Gutfeld comes on. And there are students protesting at Columbia University, and police are going to get them out of a building where students utilize the building for registration and things like that. I'm going to get back into politics after the mantra, but I thought I'd just start the podcast off by saying that the world's on fire right now, and we got a lot to talk about today. So let's get to the mantra. Today is another opportunity and another day for you to recognize your star power, for you to look in the mirror and reflect on where you've been and where you're going to next. Your reflection in the mirror is a reflection of you, a reflection of where you want to go and what you want to be. When you're looking in the mirror, you might not exactly like everything that you're seeing, but you got to learn to love yourself, right? You got to learn to understand you're going to make mistakes. You might not be great at everything. We're constantly learning and growing, and we shouldn't get mad, we shouldn't get angry, we shouldn't take things personally, we shouldn't let things get to our heads, we shouldn't let people's words steer us the wrong way, we shouldn't be too gullible, and we should be fully aware of the fact that yes, we can change our minds. Yes, we can travel. Yes, we can learn new things. Yes, we can do something differently. Yes, we can want to learn a new language. Maybe you want to learn Mandarin. Maybe you want to cook Indian food and you want to get more acquainted with Indian culture. Maybe you want to buy a new car because you're tired of spending all your money into something that's not doing what you want. Maybe you're finally at last ready to buy a house. Maybe you're ready. Following the idea of that is the idea of never give up. So we start the day off by saying yes we can, and then we have to move over from yes we can, learn how to knit, sew, paint, color, do word puzzles, play a new game, learn how to play chess. Maybe you want to learn how to play the saxophone. Maybe you want to sing, you want to join a choir. Maybe you want to change your religion. Maybe you want someone else to join your church. Whatever the situation may be, maybe you want someone to join your gym. Maybe you want a gym membership. Maybe you want to get healthy. Maybe you want to use one of those pens so you can lose weight. Whatever the case may be, you should find a way to say to yourself, yes, you can. Moving on from the idea of yes, you can, and maybe it's learning how to play rock music on a guitar in your basement. Outside of the fact that you're saying yes, you can, you should also be saying to yourself, never give up. And the idea behind never give up is that things are going to be difficult. Times are going to feel impossible. Things might not go your way. Something bad might happen. Something might steer you the wrong direction. That is going to happen. It's unfortunate that it's going to happen, but that's part of life. We're constantly learning and living and experiencing. And you can't let things that are steering you maybe in a different direction stop you from understanding that you're still going to get to your destination. It just might take a different turn, right? If you love and care about anybody, how can you give up on them, right? How, right? If you're a manager at a job, how do you hate your employees? How are you going to succeed as a manager if you're mean and rude and you like micromanage everybody and you say really disrespectful, disheartening, horrible things to your employees? Do you really think you're going to succeed? Because you're not. You're not going to succeed. I've had enough experiences with enough managers to know that the majority of them sucked. There's only been a few of my managers over my employment history that have actually been great managers. Outside of that, the rest of them, all micromanaging, all being disrespectful, all thinking they're smarter than they actually are, all trying to use their power against me. And it's just, you get to a point where it's like, are you really talking to me like that? Like, but that's just one example. There's probably millions of other examples where you're feeling like, I don't know if I want to deal with this, and your automatic thought is you want to give up because you don't want to deal with the situation. And that isn't going to fix a problem. That's just going to make the problem last longer. You're going to have to make decisions. You're going to have to deal with bad news. You're going to have to deal with a situation that's maybe not going the way you want it to. It could be anything: your job, school, your car, infertility, your relationship, your neighbor. Don't give up on something because it's not necessarily the way you want it to be. Following the idea of never give up is the idea of why not today.
Ooh, the light is bright. Hold on, I gotta adjust my light.
Why are we putting off today for tomorrow? Pretending like we can buy time. Pretending like we have the ability to freeze time or stop things. Why are we pretending like if we don't make a decision, then we're going to have 5 years after to decide something? Indecisiveness and procrastination is not winning, it's failing. Being indecisive and procrastinating is leading you to destruction, not like perfection, right? Taking too much time to make a decision, spending your time being fearful, taking on the idea of low self-esteem and anxiety, and allowing yourself to assume that you're going to put off today for tomorrow, you're going to get something done, and you never get it done, and you always say you're busy, and you always do this, and you always do that. During the week, I work long days, right? I'm very busy at my job. It takes up the majority of my time, right? Outside of me working, I don't really do a lot of things outside of go to the gym and participate in my book clubs and church. And that's really the things that I do. Those are my main things: books, church, the gym. But because those things are important to me, I try to make a schedule. I try to organize my life correctly so I can do all those things. I make sure I do 3 to 4 times a week at the gym. I make sure I'm reading my books accordingly, knowing what days I'm supposed to get what chapters by. And I make sure that I'm involved in church and I'm participating and doing everything I'm supposed to do with that too. We seriously need to take time, and we seriously need to get the dishwasher fixed. Call Angie. Maybe take time to figure out what's going on with our car. Maybe it's time that we figure out why our iPhone's not working correctly. And maybe we need to contact our professor to see if they'll accept what you just did to fix that paper, instead of waiting and assuming they'll just like what you just wrote on it. Maybe you need to figure out when you're going to apply for that promotion you want. Or maybe you're going to figure out when you're going to apply as a job you actually want to work at. Maybe instead of procrastinating about buying that house, you should actually just fill out the documentation and go look at the numbers to see if you could afford to buy the house. What do you qualify for? Why are we waiting for tomorrow instead of doing things today when we have the availability? We shouldn't do that to ourselves. Moving on from the mantra, let's get to the headlines. Donald Trump is now talking to Sean Hannity on Fox News about the protesters and the insanity happening at Columbia University, where the protesters and the group of individuals that are clearly anti-Semitic, and they all work for George Soros, and they've all been bought and paid for. These people that showed up at the BLM riots, that showed up at all these things that they don't actually believe in. These people. There is a lot of insanity going on, and we can't deny that. Why are we allowing these people in our country with visas for education and work visas and all these things? What are they doing for the community? What are they doing for the people? What are they doing? And I know that might sound like a mean question. I know it might sound like an awful thing to say, but do you understand that today Joe Biden has admitted that he is going to allow in our country Palestine people and give them a home in America? But they hate Americans. Whose idea is this? Clearly he's getting paid off by somebody. I'm really fucking tired of the government working against me, and I get up every fucking day and I go to work. Sometimes I work 5 days a week. Sometimes I work 6 days a week. I'm tired. Are you tired? I know I am. It's so annoying. And I live in New England. So I live in a fucking state that's taxing me and my husband out of our asses. You would assume with all the money that we both make together, and we make a lot of money, we'd be living gloriously, frivolously, with no fucking problems. That is not the case. No, let me tell you what's actually happening here. You want me to tell you? I'm going to tell you. Here it is. They want to tax people that make money more taxes because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Yesterday I brought up Blinken and the bitch and the federal government with what is his name? The Fed. The elderly bitch with the gray hair. Janet Yellen. They have messed up so horribly since COVID started that they can't fix it. They have overspent to a point where there isn't any fixing it. And there are people protesting at a college campus where people are spending fucking tens of thousands of dollars to be students there. And you got this ridiculous protest going on. And there's already a fucking war between Israel and Hamas and Iran now. So it's not the same type of protest that existed many years ago about the Vietnam War. That protest was against the war. This protest is during one. There is a difference. And these are anti-American people. They're burning fucking flags. Now, I'm tired of this shit. They're going to make the police officers and the police department and the NYPD the bad guys.
There's purple and there's black.
And that's fine. They can make them the bad guys. They're not the bad guys, and we all know it, but they're going to try to. They're going to say, oh, woe is me. We're taking away people's freedom of speech. This is not freedom of speech. And I know I've told you stories about the Indian lady at my job at the last place I worked at. What the fuck was her name? I can't remember her name. But the lady at my last job that pissed me off because she was telling me I couldn't say what I wanted to say. Because she was telling me I sounded worldly view or whatever. I'm going to say two things that are right at the same time right now. I can be an American and understand my freedom of speech while not offending anyone. I have my own opinions and feelings about the fact that the United States of America lets people in this country too easily. I think we need to do a better job of truly looking at the people we're allowing into our country. And I think we really have to take recognition of what actually happened on 9/11. That happened too easily. And we gotta look at ourselves attacking Israel. Do you understand what happened during 9/11 and what we actually did to Afghanistan in that area? Do you know what we did? Why are we getting mad at Israel? Why are we allowing all this anti-Semitic ludicrous behavior on these campuses? These kids get to act like this and they know they're not going to get in trouble because basically they're telling that. They gave them a deadline of 2 o'clock and they didn't care. I don't get it. I don't get it. Say one thing and do another. That is every politician. Mike, the guy in charge of the House, he has to go. And the Democrats can be on the side to keep him in power, but there's only one reason they're doing that. Because he is one of them. Rewarding failure is what the United States does because it's probably easy to do. If you take away all the qualifications, if you take away all the meaning, and if you take away everything that you're fighting for or goals, then what do you have? If you take away someone's education and their experience, what do you have? We're just giving people opportunities to do things because we feel better about it. What do you think a white liberal is? We are talking about people that don't live in these areas, that live in a suburbia place, in a house, with nice things. And they have the audacity to think that it's my problem to care about people that don't have nice things. I'm going to say something else now before I get to my next point. If you want to succeed and you want nice things, then you have to work hard to have them. That is it. There are no handouts here. This is reality and this is life. Maybe you're lucky enough to have a parent or a sibling that's willing to help you in times of need, that understand the importance of being kind, right? Maybe you have that. Or maybe you don't. But the point is, America's dying. Inclusion is a distraction, and it's ruining our country. We have unqualified, incompetent, insane lunatic individuals running things. We don't have a Department of Justice. Do you understand? While all this bad behavior is happening in Manhattan, on the Upper East Side where Columbia is, they are attacking Donald Trump in court on a case that they can't even run because it's 8 years old and it already expired, right? They're using laws that don't make any actual logical sense, and they're attacking Donald Trump. Every day, they try to say that he did something against a gag order. So they're taking away his First Amendment rights. And I don't see any of these fucking protesters out there talking about that. What I am happy to hear is that they're saying they're not going to vote for Biden because they don't like him either. So maybe there is hope here. The education system is completely broken. And when I had the nerve to see the guy in charge of the education system, and he happens to be from the state I live in, for the love of God, that bumbling fucking idiot. And of course he's a minority. Of course. Another equity hire, right? Another equity hire. He doesn't have a hold over any of this. None of them do. And Joe Biden isn't saying anything about this corrupted education system. The children in Chicago are only going to get worse, and the kids in New York are going to get worse too. No one wants electric vehicles, but they keep pretending like we need them. Did you hear the numbers from Ford? They're horrible. Do you know how much money they lost making those stupid electric vehicles? Millions of dollars. What do you think is going to happen to the rest of these car companies with these horrible vehicles? And I like Volkswagen, but like an IDV, like, why am I spending $40,000 on something electric? There are no charging stations where I live. So how the hell is that going to work? I don't know. Moving to the main part of the conversation, but before we get to that, I just want to give prayers and strength and love to the men and women fighting for our country of the United States of America, whether they are firefighters, police officers, or they're ambulance drivers. I want to give love and prayers to men and women that are serving in the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, and in any of those areas, right? I know now's not a time where people feel like they're actually doing something that matters, and America can feel very vacant right now. But America needs you. We all need you. Thank you for protecting me and my family, and thank you for doing what you do. Please don't give up. We have to stick together. That is the only way we're going to save our country, is if we take it back. We, the people, us, everyday Jills and Joes and Jacks and Karens, and Billy Bobs, and Justin and Kevin's, and Tina and Trina, and Tiffany and Billy. I said Trina, not Tranny, you douchebag. Jesus, he's always interrupting me when I'm talking about. If we stick together and we fight, the Democrats are going to eat each other. That's what they're doing right now. Do you understand that Joe Biden is allowing all this shit to happen on college campuses because he wants votes in Detroit from a small population of his party, and that they're scared of their far left party members? AOC was on the stage with him the other day saying that she wants to congratulate the protesters. She was there. These people need to be arrested, they need to be fined, and they need to be locked in fucking prison. If they acted the way they did about January 6th, where's the reaction for this? Where's the reaction for this behavior in every fucking city and state in America right now? Connecticut, New York, Boston, Chicago, California, every major city right now. Where's the reaction? These are prestigious universities too, right? Yale, right? Columbia, right? NYU, right? University of Texas. Except they capped that in the ass and they were like not dealing with it. We have to fight for America. And as much as I sound somber and depressed and lonely and miserable at times, like there's no point in trying to save it, this is a situation where we got to fight back against this anti-Semitic insanity. There's only one message here. You can go where you came from. And if you care so much about Hamas and Palestine, then why don't you go there and never come back? Give your American passport up, renege your American citizenship and go live in East Palestine and Gaza and all these other shitty fucking countries and never return. Please do that. Sincerely, Star. Moving on from the politics to the main part of the conversation, the podcasting game. First, you got to figure out some topics to talk about to be a part of the podcast game. Then you got to figure out a name of a podcast, some sort of a jingle. Maybe you want to do ads. I haven't really gotten into ads. I don't like them. And it's not that I don't want to like investigate it and do it. I just don't like them. So, and I know when I'm listening to pods, I hate listening to ads when I'm listening to them. So that's kind of like why I like Daily Wire, and I'd rather just pay for it so I can hear ad free. I'm not an ad person for Pandora either, and when I get a moment, I'm going to go back to paying for it monthly just so I don't have to hear it, right? That's the point. I don't want to hear it. Moving on from that, though, the podcasting game is a game where you have to understand that you are talking to people that aren't all in one location. They're all around the world. That's why I included No Media Allowed in my podcast, because I wanted to give some voice to people that might not think they have one. That's why I talk about Christian values and Christian music and a bunch of random topics, whether it's best friends, family, sex, feelings, polycystic ovary syndrome, loving your mom, hating your brother, like getting your toes painted, like random crazy comments, right? I try to be a person that's talking about everything. I try not to be a person that says they hate anything, because I really don't. There's certain things that I do not like, and the idea of attacking a child and corrupting their mind is my limitation, right? And I say it all the time. The education system is broken. Children are being indoctrinated. It's a sad sight to see these kids. They don't have anything to look forward to. That is my one limitation, and I think I have that built in me, that limit, right? I think I have that limit because of working in education and loving that, and loving the idea of giving a child hope. That has given me the ability to figure out topics and conversations and things that are important. And also it's fun. So the podcasting game is having a good time. Fashion shows. When was the last time you seen a fashion show? I don't know. Like, I think Kanye West had one, or someone had one. How do they pick out the people that are going to be on the fashion shows? I don't know. Do they wear, like, what's on the latest part of the line? What are they wearing? Are they randomly picked? Where are the fashion shows? I think the best fashion shows are likely in Italy and France, probably. I think that a Louis Vuitton and a Fendi and a Ferragamo fashion show must look bomb, and I can't wait to go to one at some point one day. But when New York gets back to normal, whenever that's coming, there's some really dope fashion shows in New York too. Screen time. I think that we should be selecting some sort of screen time, because I think everybody spends the majority of their time on their phone. They're not aware of anything happening because they're too busy looking at stuff on their phone. And what are they looking at? What is stopping you from being able to look up if you're walking across the street, or you're walking in the dark, or you're driving in the car? Why are you looking at your phone while you're driving in the car? Do you know how many times I've seen people not be cognizant of anything else but their phone? Like, it's insane. They're seriously not paying attention. They don't have anything. They're not aware of stuff. And that's scary to me. I think that we've been indoctrinated with technology to a point where we can't put phones down and talk to each other anymore. We're unaware of the fact that we're addicted to technology. And it's sad. Collecting bands is one of my favorite things to do. I don't know how many I have in my collection. It doesn't matter. Skip is making comments about my band collection, talking about skateboards. And by the way, listeners, stars, I have skateboarded before, and I have actually skateboarded in the van store because my face is on the wall because of all the vans I have, because I'm addicted to them. Yes, I am a collector of Vans. I wear them. I don't just collect them. And I love collecting Vans. They're so comfy, they're so chic, they match everything. You can legitimately wear them with anything. They match everything too. They're sweet, they're awesome, and they're affordable. Like, some people are like sneaker fans or sneaker heads, and they love like Jordans or like basketball sneakers, and they're all into that. Nah, Converse and Vans, but specifically Vans. Yay. You're looking at about $60 to $100. And if you get the really authentic ones that have the different colors, or sometimes they do themes, like they've done Harry Potter, and they did a Harry Potter thing when I bought all the Harry Potters. They did a Simpson theme, and I have like 3 to 4 pairs of those. They did it. I don't think they've done a Twilight theme yet, but if they ever do it, I'm buying them. They've done so many different things. They've done Batman. They really have a lot of fun with it. And I love Vans because it doesn't matter if you skateboard or not. You could truly rock them and love them. And that's the great part of Vans. They're comfortable. They go with everything. They match everything. And they're pretty simple. Our cruise is fun. I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't know. Maybe they're fun. The idea of me being on a ship for like days, I don't know. I've seen Titanic. Nothing's really attracting me to it. Maybe if I'm going to like Martha's Vineyard and I have to get on the ship to get to the island, that's fine, because you're just getting on it one way to go there and to come back. It's limited water. But being on a cruise for like a week or 2 weeks, I don't know if I'd be into that. Like, part of me thinks it would be okay, but I definitely couldn't go with my husband because he gets seasick. He's a total wimp. I love him, but he can't deal with water. But I think cruises could be fun. It's depending on where you're going. Like, are you going somewhere hot, or are you going to one of those like cold cruises? When I see the commercials for like the places where they're going and there's like snow, I'm thinking like, why would I want to be on a cruise going somewhere cold? No. So it's all dependent on weather for me. I don't know. What do you think? Cruises are pretty affordable too. So it's always an option. Poshmark recap. So I like Poshmark, but I feel like some of the quality of some of the stuff in the shows that they're selling is not up to par. I bought this necklace set and I was all excited and happy about it up until the point where it started turning my neck green, which tells me that the jewelry is fake. And I'd rather spend more money on real jewelry that's not going to turn my neck a different color than fake jewelry, right? Like 14 karat gold, sterling silver, real jewelry, real things. And honestly, I feel like sometimes you have to be careful with these people because they're like trying to get crazy amounts of money for things that are not worth it. That's the great thing about being able to buy things at a discounted price that are designer. You need to be finding things that are actually worth that amount. That's it. Moving on to the next part of the conversation. It's cold. And it's supposed to get hot soon, but I don't know when. Like, I live in New England, and I just feel like last summer was horrible. It was cold all the time. All it did was rain. It didn't feel like July. It was whack, and it was just over. It was depressing. I kind of feel like I need to move to, like, Florida or Arizona. I'm over the snow. I'm over the seasons. I just want to be in hot, warm weather, and I just want to feel like I'm at the beach. I'm excited about warmer weather. Next part of the conversation, pajama sets. I think pajama sets are definitely a go-to. And if you're looking for some, check out Poshmark and see what you can find, or your local Savers or Walmart or Target or something, and see what they have available. I'm talking about like soft pajama sets. So like when you're going to sleep, you feel like you're like comfortable, right? You want to be wearing things that are airy and comfy, nothing that's tight where you can't breathe. I don't think you should be wearing that to bed. Honestly, I think you should be comfortable in your bed. Having a plan. You should be having a plan for your life, right? When are you seriously going to start thinking about retirement? How much are they taking out of your 401k at your job? Where do you want to live when you retire, right? How many kids are you going to have? Are they going to go to public school? Hopefully not. Hopefully you're going to figure out a way for them to go to private school, right? Where do you want to live that's going to protect your children, right? What vehicle are you going to buy, right? What time are you going to invest in making sure you look a specific way? These things are important. You need to have a plan for every element, every part of your life, right? You need to have a strategic plan, and you need to map everything out for yourself, right? And if you have children, you have to kind of steer them in the correct direction too. I know life isn't always easy, and I know life is hard, and I say that at the beginning of the podcast all the time with yes, you can. But if you don't have a plan, right? If you don't strategically look at your life and navigate it and maybe readjust it at moments and times, if you don't organize things like we talk about every day with why not today, if you don't take that time and make yourself important to yourself, then you're going to miss things that are important, and you're not even going to be aware of the fact that you can't fix something that you didn't know was there. Take it from me. I have a lot of examples, a lot of lessons, a lot of experiences I've had over my life that have led me to a place now where I understand how important it is to organize my life, to plan things effectively, to not prioritize things that are not important, to not allow indecisiveness and procrastination to control me, or fear or anxiety, right? Not letting something someone said to me steer me in a way that's not correct. Having a plan means you don't let anyone steer you away from your plan, and you understand that people are going to be hateful, they are going to be mad, they are going to be ugly. That's just part of it, right? When you are successful and you're doing something amazing, people are going to want to stop you while you're moving your way to the top. Why? Because they're not at the top. Because if they were, they wouldn't be trying to stop you. That's a lesson you got to learn too. If you're trying to succeed, everyone around you is going to want you to fail because they already did. Just saying. You can have a house, you can have a car, you can have all these things, but you can still be stupid and you can still be miserable. And you have to understand the world that we live in right now. You really have to understand it. Again, if you're not organizing things correctly and you don't have things planned out, kids, work, house, car, food. If you don't have these things planned out strategically, how are you going to pay for this? How are you going to budget? How are you going to do things correctly? Then you're going to live a very miserable life. Moving on from the main part of the conversation to watching things. Did anybody see that movie Bob Marley? No one even talked about it. I don't even remember anybody talking about that movie. I thought my mom was going to watch it, but she hasn't said anything about it, so I don't know if she watched it. Past Lives, that sounds okay. 999, End of Watch. I think it's like a cop movie. I think it's on Netflix. Gear the Night. I don't know what that's about, but I saw that. Tracker. That's on Hulu. Velma Season 2. That's on, you guessed it, Max. I didn't even see Velma Season 1 yet, so before I could watch Season 2, I probably need to watch Season 1. The Color Purple. There goes another movie I didn't see. I'm tired of them remaking movies. It's irritating to me. I don't understand why they have to make over every movie. Like, I'm scared that they're going to try to make over Terminator at some point, and they're going to try to replace Arnold Schwarzenegger. Stop trying to replace people that played in original movies that you shouldn't be trying to do over. Just a thought, right? The Kitchen, another one of my favorite shows on Food Network. I love that show because they have people that are like making things, and then they have guests on the show, and then they get to compare notes, and you get to really try everything out, and it's really fun and entertaining. Death Wish. I definitely need to rewatch that. And finally, Hacks. Looks good. Didn't really get to watch a lot of TV tonight. It's Tuesday. It's a busy day, but we'll see what's going tomorrow. On Wednesday, we will be watching AEW, and who knows what we're going to be looking at after that. Moving on to food, I had shrimp and rice today for lunch, and it was delicious. Tonight for dinner, we had KFC, and that was good too. Cheeseburger casserole. I think I'd like to make that for dinner. Chocolate sour cream pound cake. It sounds like a lot, but it looks really good on Pinterest, and maybe we'll try it. Roasted garlic parmesan cabbage wedges. There's something, I don't know if I'd eat that. Maybe I'd try it to do like a taste test, but it doesn't necessarily sound like something I'd want to like really make. Lemon salmon orzo. That, on the other hand, sounds like something that would definitely be delicious. Butter chicken pasta. So is the chicken buttered chicken, and then you're just making the pasta? Like I saw a couple of like videos on recipes on Pinterest and Pepper, but I haven't really figured out one that actually makes me want to make it myself. We'll see what happens. Anyways, I'm going to end the night with drinking a lot of water, and thank you for tuning in to this Tuesday edition of Born to Be a Star. Don't forget that you are a star wherever you are. You are the light in the darkness, and I see you. Together, brothers and sisters, not only are we supposed to change the world, specifically right now the United States of America, because everything is burning to shreds, and it's horrible to watch. It is a horrible thing to watch these people outside protesting America. In America, we have to fight these people. Not just that, but wherever you are, don't give up on yourself. Wherever you are, believe that you are the light in the darkness. Wherever you are, understand your power, your star power, your ability to change anything you put your mind to. Just as I said, brothers and sisters, not only are we going to change this world, every country that exists in it, and I mean every country, even the ones we don't want to talk about, all of them, every country, South Africa, Haiti, Babylon, Dominican Republic, Mexico, Germany, Russia, Poland, Italy, Europe, Ireland, Australia, Canada, every country that lists in the world, Romania, every country, right? Every country of every country, Uzbekistan, all these different countries that exist around the world. Know your importance, know your value, and know your light in the darkness. Together, brothers and sisters, aunts, uncles, nanas, papas, doggies, and kiddos too. We are not just going to save this planet, this world, this galaxy, not just this galaxy, but the galaxies of the galaxies. We are time itself, the beginning, the middle, the end. We were here when everything started. We'll be here when everything is over. Do not lose your faith in your light. Understand your power, understand your value, and understand that we have to fight this together. We are the light in the darkness, and the darkness can't stop us because we are superior to the darkness. When the darkness is just there, we conquer it with our light. Be the light. Resonate your light around the world and understand that we are the difference in the day. See your star power. Know your star power. Be your star power. I see your star power. In the darkness, you are the light. And I hope that you see my light too. Thank you for being stars wherever you are. Whether you're in Japan, China, whether you're in Venezuela, Mexico, Canada, United States, Australia, Germany, or Ireland, or UK, Paris, Italy. Wherever you are, know that you are the light in the darkness. I'll see you same place, same time tomorrow on Wednesday. Bye.